I have been sitting here thinking about this team, and honestly, the Houston Texans are taking a measured approach as they work Tank Dell back into practice for training camp. This confirms the organization is prioritizing a full recovery from his major knee injury over rushing him onto the field too early. It is a massive relief to hear he is progressing, but the possibility of him missing the season opener against Buffalo changes the entire dynamic of our offense. And honestly, the more details come out, the harder it is to ignore what is going on behind the scenes. Hit that like button, subscribe, and drop your name and city in the comments below. Let us get into it. The Houston Texans are taking a measured approach with wide receiver Tank Dell as he prepares to make his long-awaited return to the field for the 2026 season. After suffering a devastating knee injury in December 2024 that included damage to his ACL, MCL, LCL, and meniscus, Dell spent the entire 2025 campaign on the road to recovery. During his 14 games in 2024, Dell served as a vital downfield weapon, totaling 657 yards and 3 touchdowns on 51 receptions. And fans are eager to see that spark return to our offense. According to Aaron Wilson of KPRC2, while his progress is outstanding, the organization plans to limit his workload during training camp and may remain conservative regarding his availability for the season opener against the Buffalo Bills. This news carries a heavy emotional weight for us as Dell represents a key piece of our explosive offensive identity alongside CJ Stroud. We have watched him work from the sidelines throughout OTAs and minicamp, and this cautious path is clearly designed to ensure his long-term health rather than rushing him into contact drills too soon. What nobody is talking about is how this conservative ramp-up will impact the rotation of our other pass catchers during the opening weeks of the season. While it is encouraging to see him back in the fold, the fact that he might sit out against Buffalo raises significant concerns about our tactical flexibility early on. We know he is a gamer who wants to be out there at full strength, but if the staff is already signaling a potential absence for Week 1, we must look at how the rest of the depth chart holds up under pressure. Can our remaining receiving core compensate for his absence if he truly is held back through the start of September? The most surprising reality of Tank Dell's long road back is that he might actually sit out our Week 1 showdown against the Buffalo Bills entirely. This measured pace stems from the sheer severity of his December 2024 injury, which included damage to his ACL, MCL, LCL, and meniscus. While it has been 20 months since that crushing day, the front office is clearly prioritizing long-term health over immediate gratification. Back in 2024, before the injury, Dell proved his worth by hauling in 51 receptions for 667 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 14 games, functioning as a vital piece of a potent, three-headed monster alongside Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. What makes this even bigger is that the organization has historically been cautious with high-impact stars, preferring to ensure total, verified stability before exposing them to the intensity of full-speed NFL contact drills. According to Aaron Wilson of KPRC2, the team will lean on this conservative approach throughout training camp to prevent any setbacks that could compromise his career trajectory. Behind closed doors, DeMeco Ryans and the coaching staff are likely evaluating whether the risk of an early season setback outweighs the benefit of having him on the field in September. They are playing the long game here, banking on the idea that having a fully healthy Dell for the second half of the season is far more important than any singular game in the schedule. We have seen this type of methodical recovery process serve other teams well when the objective is reaching the postseason in peak condition. For us, the wait requires patience, but it is the right move for a player who brings such explosive, game-changing potential to our offense when he is truly at 100%. Getting Tank Dell back on the field is the absolute heartbeat of our preparations for the 2026 season because it restores a critical dimension to our aerial attack. For us Houston Texans fans, this represents a major turning point in how we view our championship potential after missing such a dynamic weapon for an entire year. Think about it this way, the roster depth chart becomes far more dangerous with his return, forcing defensive coordinators to respect his speed while trying to contain our other star receivers. While Aaron Wilson reports that the team is taking a very measured approach to his recovery from that complex knee injury, The long-term benefit of his presence outweighs any temporary limitations during training camp. We simply cannot afford to rush him into contact drills, as his health remains the most valuable asset for our postseason aspirations. His recovery dictates our rhythm for the start of the year, including the very real possibility of him sitting out the Week 1 game against the Buffalo Bills to ensure he stays at 100% for the long haul. This conservative strategy actually strengthens our standing against division rivals, because it guarantees we are at full strength when the games matter most in the winter. Having a player who produced 667 yards and 3 touchdowns in just 14 games during the 2024 season is the difference between a good offense and an unstoppable one. If we manage his return with the patience DeMeco Ryans has preached, we are positioning ourselves to dominate the AFC South and make a deep, meaningful run in the playoffs. Even though the wait has been difficult for nearly 20 months, watching him regain his confidence will provide an incredible emotional lift for this entire franchise as we chase a title this year. The decision to prioritize Tank Dell's long-term health is fundamentally the right move for this franchise. By choosing a measured recovery path, the organization protects its investment in a player who recorded 51 receptions and 3 touchdowns during his 2024 campaign. The upside is clear, ensuring he returns at a full 100%. Rather than risking a setback by rushing him into contact drills, secures his availability for the entire postseason run. And here's why that's a big deal. We are talking about a unique talent who provides legitimate explosive depth alongside Nico Collins and Stephon Diggs. The counter-argument, however, is that this extreme caution might cost us early momentum, particularly if he misses the season opener against the Buffalo Bills. If he remains sidelined, our offense loses a key weapon during a critical test. Aaron Wilson of KPRC2 confirms the team will limit his initial training camp workload to avoid any complications, noting that the outlook remains strong despite the necessary patience. While some media members suggest that we should worry about his speed after such a complex injury, I think that perspective is perhaps a bit short-sighted given the quality of his rehab. Here's where I land on this. While I appreciate the team's commitment to his health, sitting him for Week 1 feels like an overly conservative precaution that might be unnecessary if he continues to progress as well as he has since his December 2024 injury. We want him back, but we also want him contributing during the games that matter most. We have seen how DeMeco Ryans handles his roster, and he is clearly prioritizing the longevity of our best playmakers. We just have to trust the medical staff to know when he is finally ready to handle the full intensity of an NFL game once again. The long-term vision for our franchise centers on sustaining a championship window with CJ Stroud at the helm, and the recovery of Tank Dell is a critical component of that success. By taking a measured approach, as outlined by Aaron Wilson of KPRC2, the organization is prioritizing the longevity of a vital playmaker over the immediate gratification of a preseason highlight. This philosophy signals that management is thinking years ahead rather than just weeks, ensuring we remain a dominant force in the AFC. And I'll be straight with you. While it is natural to feel a bit anxious about his availability for the opener against the Buffalo Bills, we should feel incredibly optimistic about the progress he has made since suffering his multi-ligament injury. His 2024 campaign, featuring 667 yards and 3 scores across 14 games, proved he is a game-changer who makes this unit significantly more explosive. We want him at 100% strength when it matters most in the winter, not just for a September kickoff. The fact that he is back on the field after such a devastating setback speaks volumes about his character and the quality of our medical staff. This is a marathon, not a sprint. And protecting our investment is the smartest move for the health of our offense. Looking at the reality of his recovery process and the conservative plan established by the coaching staff, do you believe the Texans should sit Tank Dell out for the entire Week 1 game against the Buffalo Bills, even if he is cleared to play? If you enjoyed the video, do not forget to like it and subscribe to the channel. Toro time. I'll see you in the next one.